Do you ever feel it? That heavy weight in your chest, when the world around you seems to have conspired against your peace? When wave after wave of anxiety crashes over you, threatening to sweep away your last shred of hope, your inner light? Maybe it's a sudden illness, your own or that of someone you cherish, pulling the rug out from under you. Or perhaps it's the raw, bleeding wound of betrayal, felt deep in the core of your soul. Or could it be the agonizing loss of someone who meant everything, leaving an emptiness that feels bottomless? Or the news of conflicts, of disasters that shake the very foundations of your security, making your heart clench with fear for what's to come? Perhaps it's not the external storms, but the inner demons, those haunting memories of past mistakes, of missteps that, like relentless ghosts, give you no rest, whispering words of condemnation, stealing your joy. Sudden bursts of uncontrolled happiness, immediately followed by the chilling fear of losing it, or a deep, lingering sorrow that paints everything around you in shades of gray. Is this state familiar to you, when your heart flutters like a trapped bird, when your mind races, desperately seeking an escape, and you just lose yourself? You lose your composure, your ability to see clearly, to think rationally, to make the right decisions? We so often believe that we must control everything around us, that our strength lies in our ability to foresee, prevent, or fix external circumstances. We charge into battle against windmills, trying to change the world, the people, the events. Or conversely, we fall into despair, feeling like a helpless chip tossed about in life's raging ocean, a victim of insurmountable forces. We either clench our fists in frustration or throw up our hands in powerlessness. But what if I told you there's another way? That true, unbreakable strength is found not where we're accustomed to looking for it? That there exists a profound, hidden wisdom that can transform the most terrifying storm into your greatest lesson and the most painful fall into the launching pad for your ascent? Imagine for a moment that the key to your calm, to your clarity and strength, isn't out there in the external world, but right inside you. Yes, that's right. This key is your ability to maintain the sacred space of your inner world, a quiet harbor in the very core of your being, no matter what rages outside. This isn't about becoming a numb, unfeeling statue, no. It's about developing a deep, conscious connection with that part of you that remains untouched by external storms. It's about learning to manage not the events, but your reaction to them. For it is our reaction that determines whether an event becomes a poison or a medicine, a barrier or a springboard. Understand this one simple yet incredibly vital truth. When you give in to agitation, when you allow anxiety and sorrow to flood your heart, you voluntarily hand over the steering wheel of your life to chaos. You lose not only your self-possession, but also the precious ability to see the essence of what's happening, to understand the hidden meanings, to find the right, the only true path for you. And in this moment of vulnerability, those very inner shadows, those voices of fear and doubt we often call our enemies, gain full access to your consciousness. They amplify your pain, push you towards impulsive, destructive actions that are then so difficult and sometimes impossible to correct. I'm not saying don't grieve. That would be unnatural, for you are a living human being with a heart capable of feeling the entire spectrum of emotions. I'm saying don't let sorrow overwhelm your heart to such an extent that it loses its compass, its inner light. Keep it, so to speak, at the threshold of your heart. Acknowledge its presence, but don't invite it to become the master of your inner home. Hasten to soften its sharpness, to tame its wild nature, so that it doesn't prevent you from thinking clearly and acting from wisdom, not panic. And believe me, this is within your power if you begin to consciously cultivate your inner resources, your spiritual and moral anchors. Every adversity, every difficulty is unique, and each has its own nuances for overcoming it. But right now I want to talk about their common trait, their tendency to disturb, to agitate, to throw your soul off balance. And I want to offer you a universal, powerful remedy capable of calming any storm. This remedy is a deep, unwavering trust in life, a faith that everything happening, even the most painful and incomprehensible, is part of a great benevolent design, aimed at your highest good, at your spiritual growth. It's a serene, conscious surrender to the flow of the universe, expressed in your readiness to accept what is, and find the hidden meaning within it. When deep in your soul, despite the pain, a quiet but firm voice resonates, "Let your will be done, life. As you saw fit, so it has happened, and I trust that this is for my good." This good can be realized and felt in different ways. One person in a difficult moment suddenly understands clearly, "This is life's wisdom guiding me to profound reassessment, to purification, to the awakening of my true essence." Another feels, "These are the consequences of my past choices, my mistakes, and now I'm given a chance to cleanse myself of them, to pass this lesson with dignity, to accept this penance from life itself, to become stronger and wiser." A third might think, "Life is testing me, examining the sincerity of my intentions, the depth of my faith in myself and in a luminous path." And sometimes looking back, we, or those who observed our trials from the sidelines, can see a fourth aspect. This was necessary so that great works of the universe could manifest through you, so that your story could become a source of inspiration for others. But such understanding usually comes later, when the storm has subsided, and you see clear guidance from above. In the very heart of the storm, however, when you are in the epicenter of sorrow, it is precisely the first three realizations that become your lifelines. And each of them possesses incredible power. Whichever one touches your heart, it is capable of significantly calming the rising tempest of emotions and establishing a peaceful, serene tranquility in your soul. So here is your first great principle for pacifying your heart when life's adversities try to knock you off balance. Consciously activate within yourself this faith in life's benevolent design for you, and revive in your soul a feeling of deep devotion and trust in life. Then begin to saturate your heart with these three life-saving key thoughts. Compel yourself, if necessary, to truly feel that this current sorrowful event is either a test of your inner strength or a cleansing process that life has initiated for your own good, or a powerful nudge towards reevaluating your life, towards making amends with your soul for forgotten dreams or misguided steps. As soon as your heart responds, even slightly, to one of these truths, you will feel the wave of sorrow begin to recede. It will give way first to a slight clearing, and then the other two feelings will join in, amplifying the effect. And altogether, they are capable of restoring inner peace and a blissful state of mind so quickly that you won't be able to help exclaiming from the depths of your soul, "May life's name be blessed forever." I accept this experience. I am learning. I am growing. These feelings are like healing oil poured upon the raging waves of your heart. The waves will subside, and a great calm will ensue. This is how, step by step, you can pacify your heart every time it is troubled, no matter to what degree. Now imagine what would happen if you didn't just apply this remedy in moments of crisis, but made it the foundation of your life. If through long, patient inner work, through daily spiritual practices, you were to ingrain these feelings of trust, acceptance, and the search for higher meaning so deeply into your heart that they become its integral part, its natural state, then, my friend, no external sorrow could truly disturb you. Such an inner disposition would become your most powerful protective shield. This doesn't mean that sorrowful feelings will cease to approach you. They will, for you live in a world full of change and contrast. But they will merely touch you, like ocean waves touching a mighty cliff, and immediately retreat, unable to shake your inner fortress. You will become that cliff. But what if the storm has arisen not from external events, but from your own mistake, your own misstep, your own, as some say, sin? What if you yourself became the cause of your pain? Let yourself down, acted against your conscience, your ideals. This is an especially treacherous moment, because here, the pain of the mistake is mixed with the poison of self-condemnation. First and most importantly, do not give in to despair. Do not start senselessly tormenting yourself, drowning in self-flagellation. Stop exclaiming with a tragic air, "How could I, so aware, so spiritual, have allowed this? How could I have fallen so low?" Do you know what that cry is? It's the cry of your wounded ego, your pride, which has created an ideal image of itself and now cannot reconcile with the reality of your imperfection. Instead, take a deep breath and turn to a completely different quality, to humility, not to humiliated self-deprecation, but to a sober, loving acceptance of your human nature. Look at yourself with compassion and say to your heart, addressing that higher power you believe in, or simply your own deep wisdom, yes, this is me, imperfect, prone to error, but striving for the light. What else could be expected from me, so vulnerable and still learning to be better? And right then, in that very moment, find the strength for gratitude. Thank life or your inner wisdom that it stopped there, that you didn't stray even further from your path. Realize, if not for your boundless kindness to me, life, if not for that inner emergency brake that still worked, I undoubtedly could have done something far worse. However, while acknowledging your imperfection and feeling this way, be wary of allowing another extreme into your heart. The thought of careless permissiveness, that since you are like that, you somehow have the right to occasionally act inappropriately. No, and again, no. Despite recognizing your vulnerability and tendency to make mistakes, every action, every choice you make, as a being endowed with free will, remains your responsibility. And just as good deeds are credited to you, so too do missteps weigh on the scales of your accountability. Therefore, here is the second step on the path of transforming a mistake. Having acknowledged your general tendency towards imperfection, simultaneously acknowledge your full responsibility for the specific misstep you've made now. Condemn not yourself as a person. You are priceless and loved by birthright, but your action, rebuke yourself, but only yourself. Don't look around for scapegoats. Don't try to shift the blame onto other people or circumstances. No one and nothing is to blame for your mistake except your own choice, your inner state at that moment. Yes, perhaps there were provoking factors, but the reaction is always your choice. So, rebuke only yourself, but do it constructively without self-destruction. And here it's important not to be like those who say with cynical bravado, "Yeah, I did it, so what?" Such an attitude is also a manifestation of pride, just in a different mask. No, after deep awareness of your responsibility and constructive self-reproach, mentally place yourself before the face of your conscience, before your higher self, before that incorruptible truth that lives in the depths of your soul, and hasten to awaken within yourself truly repentant feelings. This is the third crucial step, remorse and sorrow for the committed misstep. But pay attention, not so much because this mistake humiliates you, but because with this act, you may have caused pain to others, or betrayed your own bright ideals, strayed from your true path, dishonored that love and wisdom of the universe, which so generously pours its gifts upon you. In the very call to awareness, in the opportunity to learn from mistakes, in access to moments of deep inner union and inspiration, in the gentle guidance and protection on your path. The deeper this remorse, this sincere regret, the more healing the process will be. But no matter how strong your remorse, here is the fourth life-affirming step. Do not allow even a shadow of doubt about the possibility of healing and forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't something you earn, it's the natural state of the universe, always ready to welcome you back into its embrace as soon as you sincerely desire it. The entire weight of your past mistakes is already dissolved in the infinite love of the source. Much like the ancient wisdom teaches that the record of all sins was torn apart on the cross. Only one thing is expected from you: your sincere repentance, your contrite heart, your desire to be cleansed and to change. And then the power of this universal forgiveness will touch you too, freeing you from the burden of the past. With this trust, with this hope, fall prostrate in soul and body, not literally if that's not your path, but inwardly in deep humility, and cry out from the very depths of your being, "Source of all being, forgive me. I acknowledge my misstep. I accept this lesson. I open myself to your healing light." And do not cease this inner dialogue until you feel how guilt and mercy, mistaken forgiveness, merge into one healing feeling of release. This state of inner peace and lightness, this grace of renewal, unfailingly descends upon everyone who sincerely walks this path. And finally, the fifth step, crowning this process of transformation. This purification must be accompanied by your firm resolve, sealed by an inner vow to yourself, to no longer indulge your weaknesses, but to strictly and attentively guard yourself, to protect your inner world from a repeat of similar failings. Not just major ones, but even the smallest. And of course, accompany this resolution with an earnest inner request for support, for the bestowal of strength and wisdom for this. After such an intimate, sometimes painful experience of the unreliability of your own strength, when you rely solely on the ego, words will naturally flow from your heart. Create in me a clean heart, O life. Renew a right spirit, a spirit of light within me. And may your good spirit, your wisdom, guide me to the land of truth, to the true path. This entire process, constructive self-reproach, not destructive, remorse, a prayer request for forgiveness and healing, an inspiring decision to guard yourself henceforth, and a request for divine assistance. You must go through it internally every time you notice you've stumbled. With an errant glance, a careless word, a judgmental thought, an impure desire or feeling. Never, not for a single moment, leave this little debris in your heart unacknowledged, unreleased, uncleansed before your conscience in the face of the universe. If you fall again, do the same thing again. And even if you have to make mistakes many times during the day, and who among us doesn't, cleanse yourself just as many times, restoring your inner harmony. And in the evening, if you have the opportunity, if there is someone in your life whom you can completely trust, be it a spiritual guide, a wise friend, a therapist, or simply a close person with an open heart, recount to them everything that happened in your soul during the day, all your little falls and rises. If you can't do it that same evening, do it at the earliest opportunity. Such sincere disclosure, such confession of your weaknesses and efforts to another person who will not judge but support, is an incredibly beneficial action in our inner work, in our spiritual battle with our own shadows. Nothing disarms the inner saboteur, our soul-killing enemy, and shatters its schemes like such a courageous step towards openness and vulnerability. This is precisely why that inner voice of fear and ego will try every trick to stop you. It will whisper from within, "Don't do it. It's shameful. It's foolish. They won't understand. They'll judge you." It will also create external obstacles, sudden urgent tasks, fatigue, lack of time. You will see all these ploys yourself as soon as you decide to embark on this path of sincerity. But remember especially well 2 points, 2 traps that this inner saboteur sets with particular diligence. First, it will insistently suggest that you don't immediately, as soon as you notice your misstep, begin the process of inner cleansing, but wait a little bit. Not a day, not an hour, just a little bit. But the moment you agree to this little bit, it will immediately slip you another mistake, then another. For example, after an unkind word, an envious thought, or a judgmental glance. And the cleansing of this second sin you will inevitably postpone, because you have to deal with the previous one first. And so, procrastination will continue throughout the day, and mistake after mistake, like a snowball, will fill your soul, clouding your inner light. And in the evening, by which time this task of repentant self-cleansing is usually deferred, you'll look inside, and you won't see anything definite anymore. There's noise, confusion, and darkness from the multitude of small and large failings you've allowed. Your soul will be like eyes filled with dust, or like water muddied by a lot of debris thrown into it. And since you can no longer clearly see what exactly needs cleansing, the work of inner repentance and transformation is often abandoned altogether. But along with that, your soul is left murky, agitated, and heavy. This makes your evening prayer or meditation superficial and insincere, and then your dreams may be restless, reflecting the inner imbalance. Therefore, remember the golden rule. Never, not for a single moment, postpone your inner cleansing once you realize something is amiss, something that has disturbed your harmony. It's like instant hygiene for the soul. The second thing your inner critic and saboteur will whisper is not to tell your trusted confidant, your spiritual guide in the broadest sense. What happened? Don't listen to it. Defy it and reveal everything that burdens you, everything where you've stumbled. For just as much good, liberation, and strength comes from such sincere disclosure, so too, or even more, harm and heaviness result from concealing what happens within us and to us. The light of sincerity dispels the darkness of shame and guilt. So, my dear friend, you stand on the threshold of a great inner transformation, the keys to your inner world, to your unbreakable strength and clear serenity. They are in your hands. In your heart, you can learn to be the rock amidst life's raging waves. You can learn to turn the poison of your mistakes into the elixir of wisdom. Start today. Start right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It will never come. Start with one small but conscious step. With one deep breath and a firm decision to preserve your inner world, whatever it takes. With one honest, ruthless, yet loving look at your recent mistake and a readiness to go through all the steps of its transformation. Ask yourself a few questions right now. What storm are you weathering in your life these days? And how can you apply these principles of trust and the search for higher meaning to it? What recent mistake of yours, big or small, are you ready to transform today without a moment's delay? And is there someone in your life to whom you could open up to lighten your soul and receive support? Remember, within you lies limitless strength, divine wisdom, and an ocean of unconditional love. You are capable of so much more than you think. You are capable of healing your wounds, overcoming your fears and weaknesses, and shining your unique, irreplaceable light. Trust yourself. Trust life. Trust that benevolent design that guides you along this amazing, sometimes difficult, but always meaningful path. Your journey to light, to harmony, to your true self begins not tomorrow, not in an hour, but in this very moment. And know this, you are not alone on this path. The entire universe, all its light and love, supports you in this sacred pilgrimage to the depths of your own heart. Take that step, and another, and you will see how your life begins to change in the most wonderful ways. I believe in you,